Welcome everybody to this special edition of the Weekly Extra Point Live, the Roadshow edition. I am your host Darren Basmajan, and with me, special guest Daniele Gentili. Danny, first of all, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, and good evening to all the viewers and the D1 players.
Or morning, depending on when you're watching this.
Or morning, depending on when you're watching this.
All right, so Division 1 championship. Obviously, Daniele, you haven't really played in Division 1, I believe, ever in your career?
Once.
One game? Or?
No, one season with Lounge 6 back in the day.
Okay, so it was a different Division 1 then, but you have a lot of experience with guys of this caliber. You know a lot of the guys in the league, and that's why Daniele, our newest media member, is helping us out for this one. Daniele, let's start talking about this game. We've got Montreal's finest versus the Rainmakers. Now, stop me if you've heard this one before. This is now the second championship year in a row they're playing. Spring finals, they had a great game. Now they're in it again for the winter championship. First of all, quick thoughts on the game.
Well, they're the two best teams in FPF. They have the two best quarterbacks in FPF. I mean, Wyeth with a great season, over 60 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. And Ryan Kastner had his best season to date. And, I mean, it's going to be a great game. We'll see what happens. Let's see who shows up.
Now, both these teams, because there are not that many teams in Division 1, are coming off basically an extra bye week. You've had experience with bye weeks, of course. You've been playing in the league long enough. Do you think that extra week will hurt or help them?
Well, you know what? I don't think it'll hurt them, and I don't think it'll help them. It's just another football game for these guys. You know, they're used to it. I mean, Montreal's finest seems like they're in the championship every year, so they're used to the bye week. And the Rainmakers, I mean, they've had a couple seasons in the championship game, and again, I don't think it'll hurt them at all.
Now, I alluded to it earlier. These two teams have seen a lot of each other in the past 2 seasons. This is going to be the 5th time they face each other 3 times in the spring season. The Rainmakers got 1 win, their first win over the finest franchise. Then they lost the other 2. Now they faced each other this season. Tie game earlier. Now it's the 5th one. Do you think that past experience is going to play a factor in this game?
Absolutely. I mean, Montreal's finest had a great season this year. Their only blemish comes from the Rainmakers. And that's something that I'm sure the Rainmakers will look upon for motivation. And, I mean, it's their 5th time playing in 2 years. I mean, any 2 teams that play each other this often, obviously they build a rivalry and they tend to, you know, realize what they're all about, the other team's all about. And when it comes to this game tonight, Darren, I mean, I think the Rainmakers they have to come in with a super game plan against Wyeth. And, I mean, they have a good shot. They have a real good shot at winning. I mean, they know how the finest plays. Finest is a staple of FPF. They know how everyone plays, it seems. So we'll see. We'll see how it is.
Now, a lot of people thought that in last year's spring finals that was the best chance for the Rainmakers, given that this is a team that has roster inconsistencies, but they had their whole roster there, all their best players. And then the finest were missing a bunch of guys, a lot of injuries to Pat Jerome, injuries to Kevin Wyeth. And the finest basically just came out on top anyways. Didn't make a difference. As they always do, they've won. If you're the Rainmakers and you have such a heartbreaking loss in that type of situation, is that something that's in your mind going into this game now, or are you just trying to completely block it out?
Well, of course it's in your mind. I mean, as a player in this league, I mean, anytime you lose against in the championship 1 year, you're going to come back thinking about that game the next year, especially in the championship finals. It's going to be in their head. They know what they have to do. Listen, they're all mature not old men, but they're mature men. And, you know, they know what they got to do. I mean, of course, Kastner and his boys are going to come in remembering that, hey, last championship, we got beat by maybe a 75% finest team. This year, they're playing a 100% finest team, but the Rainmakers are no pushover. So, I mean, listen, get it out of your mind. I know it'll still linger in there, but it's a new season. It's a brand new game. So, I mean, they'll take it from there.
In the offseason, both these teams kind of took different approaches to things. The Rainmakers basically stood pat, brought most of their guys back. Finest, adding a few CLR Forces guys. They added Olivier Bourdage, they added Guillaume Ward, and they also added Stéphane Cole at rusher. Which strategy do you think is going to pay more fruit now that they've reached this game? Because it's not like the new additions for the Finest haven't worked out, but it is a difference. It's a different team.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a different team, and it's always good to add depth to a team, especially with that kind of talent. I mean, Guillaume Ward is a great player. He won multiple awards with the CLR Forces. He pretty much was that team. I mean, he was the CLR Forces. When you think of CLR Forces, you think Guillaume Ward. adding that to the Montreal's finest, I mean, it seems like they add the best of the best every year. That hence their name, the finest, you know. But listen, the Rainmakers, I think their chemistry is always getting stronger every year. They're keeping their same core guys. I know sometimes they'll add in another guy like Holness. I think he played a couple of games this year. I don't know if he's playing tonight, unfortunately. But I mean, adding depth is a great move in any division. Montreal's finest is a good team. They're a great team, and they're even better now with those three players. I mean, you lose Mo Khan, big deal. You add Stefan Cole, even better. So, I mean, listen. Obviously, my answer to that is adding depth is the better move, but you know, remaining, like you said, standing pat is also good because that chemistry just increases.
So for these two teams, I think either way they could have gone wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah,
They're the best. Let's talk about the quarterbacks. You can't avoid talking about the quarterbacks when these two teams are involved. We'll start off with the guy who is, in my mind, unquestionably the best quarterback in Flag Plus football right now, Kevin Wyeth, keeping it up year after year, doing all that he does. How, in God's name, do you stop Kevin Wyeth?
You can't stop Kevin Wyeth.
Can you slow him down?
Well, I mean, if you take every second of every play and you just try to keep him off the field. I mean, Kevin Wyeth, a great year this year. He's 62 touchdowns and 2 picks. And those 2 picks were in the same game to the same guy. So that wasn't a familiar sight for the finest, you know. Throwing picks, getting turnovers, that's not what it was about this year. Kevin Wyeth, you can't stop him. Unfortunately, you can't. You could slow him down. And what I would do if I was the Rainmakers here, if I was their defensive coordinator, basically give the same look throughout the game and just shoot different people anywhere. I mean, just try to mix it up. Try to throw him off for that split second, and maybe their rusher could get him once or twice, causing maybe a 3rd and long or a 4th and long. I mean, that's the only way Kevin Wyeth can get slowed down, not stopped.
Best strategy is probably to try and injure him early on, but I don't think the Rainmakers have the kind of guys who would do that. They're all very classy. It's going to be a good game. Let's talk about Ryan Kastner now. Speaking of class, great guy, great quarterback, having another exceptional season, and he's really just been turning it up from season to season. We always think he can't do much better, but then his sack totals have gotten a lot lower over the past few seasons. He's thrown more touchdowns than he ever did in his FPF career, thrown for more yards than he ever did in his FPF career. What are your thoughts on Ryan Kastner and what he's going to bring to the game in this one?
Well, Ryan Kastner is definitely the 2nd best quarterback in all of FPF. There's no question about it. And he should be proud, especially for the stat that, you know, keeps on lingering every year, the sack total. For that to go down, that's great. It shows that he's learning how to react to a quick rusher, to a tall rusher, whatever the rusher may be. Listen, Kastner is Kastner. He'll score on you no matter what. You're not going to stop him. You can sack him, but you can't stop him. And it's going to be this is what I love about this game. It's the 2 best quarterbacks Kastner's going up probably against the best defense in Division 1, and Kevin Wyeth is coming up against, you know, a defense that's really increasing in playmaking ability every year, it seems. But Kastner, we're talking about him right now. He's great. I have no doubt about the fact that he will put up points against it and make it close. But we'll see again. I mean, listen, congratulations to him because this year was exceptional. It's too bad he was overshadowed by Wyeth.
As everyone was, but it's not hard to do with a season like that. Let's get into it now. Nitty-gritty time. Give me an X factor for each team. We'll start off with the finest.
Okay, the X factor for the finest. It's easy to say Wyeth, but we're not going to go with it.
No quarterbacks because it's boring.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's very easy to say Wyeth and Kastner, blah, blah, blah. But X factor for the Montreal's finest, I think tonight it's going to be Donald Shepard. Kevin Wyeth likes his center. He runs a very simple offense. And to have a guy like Donald Shepard who is big, who has great hands, and who's smart, and who has the ability to box himself out, box his defenders out and make grabs at crucial times, I think he's going to have a big game, and I mean the finest have a great weapon in him. And
moving to the Rainmakers, who's their X factor?
Okay, for the Rainmakers, I think the X factor tonight is going to be Bobby Michaelberg. He's had a great season. He stepped up his defense a lot in the past couple seasons. He's made a lot of plays this year. On offense, he's Kastner's guy. I mean, him and Cnot are the Rainmakers offense, And
Tim Kramer has been adding in as well, but definitely Michaelberg is a big piece.
Yeah, I mean, he's about 6'2", 6'3", 230 pounds, whatever his size is. But I mean, great hands, great ability, and if he can make that play or two on defense that the Rainmakers will definitely need, I think they'll have a shot at winning. So Bobby Michaelberg, you got to go, man. You got to do something.
And of note, Bobby Michaelberg actually was one of the best receivers for the Rainmakers in that prior matchup where they tied. All right, this is it, Danny. Prediction. Who you got? Last year when I predicted the game in my column, I wrote the Finest, and then when I saw the injuries, I flipped it to the Rainmakers. Finest still won. Go out on a limb here. Who you got?
Well, okay. I love the Rainmakers. I've known Ryan Kastner and Derek Kastner practically my whole life. But, I mean, I cannot go against Wyeth and his boys. I mean, it's just a team that you cannot expect to lose. You could only have them slated to win every game. I mean, they have that one tie against Rainmakers, which I think is a great storyline to this game, and it will make it close. But I will have to, lean towards the Finest here, Darren.
I don't think many people will argue with you on that one, but the Rainmakers are definitely in a good position as well. We should have a great challenge here. I think it's going to be a great fitting end to the Division I season. That's it from us here. We're going to throw it to Mo Khan, who's going to be handling play-by-play, and his color analyst, Paul Lapierre, joining the FPF Media. Should be an interesting duo there. And they're going to be breaking down the game footage for you with live play-by-play. First time in FPF's history. Hopefully it goes well. If it doesn't, well, we're trying. But that's it from here. For me and Danny. We're going to be back for the post game. Any final thoughts, Danny, before we go to Mo Khan and Paul Lapierre?
You know what? I know they're going to be watching in a week's time or something, but good luck to the Rainmakers. Good luck to the Finest. May the best team win and play hard.
All right, Mo, Paul, your turn. What do you got for us?
And welcome back here for the Div 1 final now between the Montreal's Finest and Rainmakers. Our rematch of the spring finals from last year, which the Montreal's Finest won. And it looks like it will be the Rainmakers who will be on offense first here, Paul. Your keys to the game for the Rainmakers for them to win this matchup?
The keys for the Rainmakers are they're going to have to play mistake-free football first and foremost. Kastner can't afford to make any mistakes because it's going to be real hard if they do, because Kevin Wyeth, on the other hand, hasn't been making mistakes all season long. What I think it's going to come down to is the rush for Montreal's Finest. If they're able to get a good rush on Kastner, it could be a long day for the Rainmakers.
And the key for the Montreal's Finest is what in this game for them to win?
The key for the Montreal's Finest is to get that good rush on Kastner, and as well just let Kevin play the game he's been playing all season long. I mean, they haven't lost the game all season, and it shows from the play that he's been providing.
And right now, the starting lineup for the Rainmakers: Ryan Kastner at quarterback, Tim Kramer, number 8, Ben Leger, number 88, Bobby Michaelberg, number 80, Michael Simon, number 26, and number 9, Guy Laflamme for the Rainmakers offense. For the defense, though, Stefan Cole, number 97, Keyshawn Thompson, number 84, Guillaume Morgue, number 89, Dillian Charles, 11, Kareem Bennett, number 23, and Olivier Bordage, number 40. That is your starting lineups for the Finest and Rainmakers lineup here. So this should be a great game here. We're just a little bit delayed right now, Paul, after a fantastic finish in the Div 2 finals. Hopefully the Div 1 can equal or be close enough to that finish that we had in the Div 2 finals. So, again, two great teams right now.
It's going to be real tough to match the game we just watched, but with these two teams and the way they played in the regular season coming down to a tie, I don't see it finishing any other way.
Well, again, both teams, and looking at the last 4 or 5 battles, it's been a 3-1-1 record here for the Finest. The games have been closer. The Rainmakers have been no pushovers in the last year and a half here. You played them firsthand, Paul. Have they become much better in your eyes as a Div 1 football player?
I think so. Honestly, this year they seem to have a little bit more of a swag to their game. They seem a little more confident. In the past years, they were always right there, but seemed to be missing something. And this year, I think they have it. I think they have the confidence to play with Montreal's Finest and to beat them. So it should be real interesting.
Here we go. Rainmakers with the football here, Paul. Ryan Kastner, first opportunity to score. Kastner looks to his left, waits, buys time, goes over to Derek Kastner. Great catch by Derek Kastner for the first down.
That was a great catch by Kastner, and a lot of patience by Ryan Kastner to wait for him to get open on that one.
And looking by the lineup here, it looks like CAC Nutt is not in the lineup here, which is a big loss because, again, he is a lethal weapon for the Rainmakers. With him not there, maybe does that put more pressure on Tim Kramer, Bobby Michaelberg to be bigger X factors for them?
Offensively, I don't think it puts more pressure on them. Defensively, that might hurt them.
Cash looks to his right, waits, goes to the flats. Great catch by Ben Leger, out of bounds, though, incomplete.
Montreal's Finest had great coverage on that. Kastner put it where Michaelberg could get it and no one else could, and unfortunately he couldn't keep his feet in bounds.
Looking at it right now, Bobby Michaelberg had 3 TD grabs against the Finest earlier in the season in the tie game, which came out literally the last 2 plays in that matchup here. So you wonder if this has the same recipe for a strong finish. Second down, Kastner looking to his left. Goes to Derek Kastner again. Tackled by Keyshawn Thompson, about a 5-yard gain. Do you think Derek Kastner will have a bigger role in this game today?
I really do, because the key to Montreal's Finest defense is Keyshawn in the middle. He's going to basically show what's going on with their defense, and a lot of times he's going to improvise. So when it's a 3-2, he may end up dropping back a little more than he should. So Derek could definitely have a huge game, and Ryan Kastner has to be patient and take what they give him.
And so far, he's off to a strong start, moving the football down the field here. Not the furthest he's gone is second down right now. He's hit 2 first downs up till now. Kastner looking. Wait, going left again. Ben Leger with a huge grab, and he will be deflagged just outside the red zone. First down.
That was Michaelberg again coming across the middle around 12 to 15 yards, and that mid-range game is definitely what's going to work for them. I'm sorry, I meant Leger with that catch.
Ben Leger, 88, Bobby Michaelberg, number 80. They both look alike physically. Both tall people like you and I are, Paul. And so right now, Ben Leger getting into the books with his first catch of the game. Inside red zone now. Kastner rolls to his right, waiting. Goes in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Tim Kramer. 6-0 here for the Rainmakers.
Once again, great patience by Kastner. Waiting for the defense to converge on the front of that end zone and waiting for Kramer to get open in the back. That was a nice play.
So they're 1 for 1 so far on their opening series here. Ryan Kastner hitting Ben Leger, hitting Derek Kastner twice, and Tim Kramer for a 4-yard touchdown as the Rainmakers go up 6-0 here in the Div 1 final. The Montreal's Finest, the defending champion, the first defending champion back in the finals since 2009 when the Hurricanes lost to this Finest football team 4 years ago. Tip ball picked off by Keyshawn Thompson, so incomplete, and here comes Kevin Wyeth. What is the key for the Finest in this game?
The key for the Finest is for Kevin, obviously, not to make a mistake, which he hasn't done all season long. The Rainmakers are going to have play a lot of man-to-man. And he's got his plays, and he's got athletes all around him that can beat that man-to-man coverage. So as long as he puts the ball on the money, they shouldn't have a problem scoring.
Kevin Wyeth, 2 INTs all season long to go with his 60-plus TDs. Wyeth rolls to his right. He's going deep. Mark Champagne, touchdown, Mark Champagne. Just like that now, it is 6-6.
And as you can see on that play, he went with a straight through with triple slants with a backside post by Mark Champagne. And when you're covered man-to-man with Mark Champagne, it's going to be a long day for you. Not many people can stay with him.
Now, if you are the Rainmakers defense, what do you do in that situation? Do you go more over zone and try to play 2 deep safeties to counter that triple slants?
It's tough for me to say that the Rainmakers should go zone when they're not really used to playing much zone. But at the same time, maybe give a little bit more space for Mark Champagne, knowing Kevin wants to go deep.
And Rashi Ben-Abdelkader with a huge extra point attempt. And again, this may come down to extra points.
Yes,
and the one thing you look at Montreal's Finest, probably not the strongest team at converting extra points, though. So this may be the difference between whoever wins this game and whoever loses this game.
Well, especially when the last game came down to
an extra point.
There you go. So maybe they've been putting some more work in on it to make sure that they have it down pat for now.
7-6 here for the Finest. Both teams 1 for 1 on their opening drive. Kastner looks left. Going deep. He has Bobby Michaelberg open through the seam of the defense. A huge gain in the first down.
Yeah, once again, Kastner hitting that mid-range game. That's what he likes. That's his bread and butter right there.
20-yard gain, tackled by Delian Charles on that play. And that's the one thing about Ryan Kastner, though, Paul, is that if he has time, he is dangerous as a quarterback.
Exactly, and that's why I said the key to stopping the Rainmakers would be that rush. Cole's possibly maybe trying to block his passing lanes instead of getting there full speed and getting that flag. Castner's not going to really move around too much, so maybe you should try to speed up his rush.
Whistle blowing right now, and it looks like Stefan Cole is hurt, and that could be a big difference now for the rushing game for the Montreal's Finest, Paul.
It could, but once again, now you have Mark Champagne, who's even faster, who's going to maybe put a pressure on Castner to throw that ball a little quicker than he wants to, which could help Montreal's Finest defense.
Intended for Ben Leger, incomplete, and Stefan Cole, looking at him right now, he is not happy. He looks like he is banged up as we speak, and so you wonder now what Keyshawn Thompson will call for his defense for the rush, if he's going to have someone else besides Mark Champagne go at Ryan Castner. I
think you're going to see a heavy dose of Mark Champagne until Cole's ready to go back in, if he is able to go back in.
Castner. Oh, shorts. Bobby Michaelberg, touchdown. A great throw. And 6 points here. 12-7 now here for the Rainmakers.
That was a hell of a throw by Castner. He put that where his receiver can get it and nobody else could. And it looks like the reason why Cole had to step out for those plays is that he had some illegal shorts, possibly with pockets.
And that's the one thing you look at, Paul, is that the littlest things could cost you points, and I think that cost Montreal's Finest with him not being out there.
It's very possible. Who knows what could have happened if he was out there, but it's too little too late for that. He's got to move on to the next play, and hopefully he can get a good rush here to stop this convert.
And so far, Ryan Castner has been perfect up till now in terms of his completions to his big guys. Castner going the back of the end zone over the head of Tim Kramer. 12-7 here for the Rainmakers. And again, one play, one touchdown for Kevin Wyeth, whereas with the Rainmakers, they've spread the ball around. They've had 4 different receivers right now. Is that going to be something we're going to see here where the Rainmakers are going to try to milk the clock and really spread that football out?
Well, it's not so much milking the clock. It's really their game plan is to take those intermediate passes. So that's just their style of playing.
Wyeth looking left. Over to picked off by Ben Leger. Leger is going to go in for the touchdown. It is now an 18-7 lead here, and it's similar to the play from the Div 2 finals where Deschamps picked off Frank LeBeau just like that.
Yeah, it's exactly what the Rainmakers needed, was to get Kevin to throw one of those passes that could be picked, and Leger made it count, and he took it to the house. What a great play by Leger.
Intended for Aked Moore on that play, and it seemed like Kevin Wyeth went crossbody on that and hit Ben Leger as opposed to Aked Moore.
Well, after the semifinals with Aked having such a big game, that the Rainmakers were definitely going to be looking towards Aked's way for those balls to be thrown to him. So great defensive play by the Rainmakers.
Castner. Great play by Delian Charles to bat the ball away. 18-7 here now for the Rainmakers. Not a big lead yet, but that is a big turnover, and we talked about it, though. One turnover could be the difference here, and it became a pick 6.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is the 3rd interception that Kevin Wyeth has thrown all season. Probably the first since week 2 or
against
week
the
3.
Ducks.
Against the Ducks,
he had 2,
exactly.
Yeah.
So a great play by the Rainmakers, and it'll be interesting to see what Montreal's Finest goes to here.
Wyeth. Going to the sidelines, caught by Mark Champagne. He's got speed. Champagne gets first down and more, tackled by Michael Saman. And so far, Mark Champagne has both catches from Kevin Wyeth.
Yeah, it looks like they gave him a little bit more space there. Probably worried about getting burnt on the deep pass. So they gave him a nice cushion, and Kevin took that 10-yard hook.
18-7, a surprise lead early on right now if you are a Montreal's Finest fan. But right now it seems like the Rainmakers look like they're more on point with their offense and defense. But Kevin Wyeth slowly knocking on the door. Wyeth waits. Goes over the middle to Aked Moore. Touchdown. 18-13 now for the Rainmakers.
And remember, the first time these two teams played, Rainmakers actually had the lead all the way up to that last drive where Montreal's Finest came back and got that tying score. So it's not really surprising that Rainmakers have this early lead. It's about holding this early lead that's going to be tough for them.
And right now, so far, if this is a boxing match, right now they've gone punch for punch with the Montreal's finest.
Yes, they have.
Wyeth out to Kedmore for the convert. 18-14 now, 4-point lead here, and that was a huge point for the Montreal's finest.
No, like you said, converts could end up coming into play, and when you got a close game like this, you want to make sure you take advantage of every opportunity you get.
Now, Stefan Cole is back in the lineup with the proper shorts needed to rush the quarterback here. But we'll see. Do you expect any adjustments from the finest defense against the Rainmakers?
No, I don't see an adjustment just yet. Maybe at halftime if they keep on letting them score.
Castro to Tim Kramer. Kramer gets tackled by Bordage. Olivier Bordage with his first tackle of the game. About a 7-yard gain here in a second down.
As you can see, when the Rainmakers had scored that last drive, on that convert, he had thrown it maybe about 5 or 8 yards out of bounds. Reason for that was maybe because of Cole being in his face. Sometimes he does get in the passing lane, and it's hard to throw around him sometimes.
Rainmakers up by 4 right now. Tim Kramer, 2 catches so far today, about 11 yards, 1 TD grab for the young man. Casser going to Saman. He is open. He will get enough for the first down. Tackled by Kareem Bennett. First down for the Rainmakers.
Yeah, I think Montreal's finest might have been man-to-man there. He hits Sanut on a crossing route. I'm sorry, he hits Salmon on a crossing route, and it's hard to cover man-to-man when you got those crossing routes.
A new fresh set of downs here for the Rainmakers. Up by 4 in the first half. Looking to win their first ever FPF title. Castro goes right. Short pass to Derek Castro. He's going up the field. Tackled by Guillaume Mord, and they should be inside the red zone, just short of the first down, though.
Another patient, great play by Kastner to his brother Kastner. He's going to be open on a lot of those because Keyshawn, like I said, he likes to cheat and sometimes help with the deep coverage.
And again, the Finest have not been down pretty much the entire season here, except for the Rainmakers here. If you're Keyshawn Thompson, what do you do? And against you guys as well, early in the first half of the playoff loss. Sorry, Paul. But what do you do for Keyshawn Thompson and calm the troops down?
Honestly, they've been here and they've been in this situation before. So I think they just got to stick with the game plan they have, trust each other, and hopefully they can get Kastner to make a mistake.
Michael Berg with a 2-yard catch, and Rainmakers inching ever so close now to the end zone, up by 4 here in the Div 1 Finals. The defending champion Montreal's Finest looking to be the first team to repeat since the Hurricanes did it back in 2007-2008 of the Div 1 league here. Kastner rolling to the right, looking out. Great catch by number 9, Guy Lafemme. Touchdown. It is now 24-14 for the Rainmakers.
And Ryan Kastner seems to be bringing his A game today. Another great throw by him.
Great throw by Ryan Kastner here, and again, he has been on point so far. He has hit 6 different receivers now for at least 1 catch or more in this game. And so far, he has been phenomenal, taking care of business right now for the Rainmakers if you are a Rainmaker fan. Extra point now. Kastner looking to the left. Goes to the corner of the end zone. Great play by Dalian Charles to bat that ball away from Bobby Michaelberg. Now a 10-point lead here, essentially a 2-score lead if you want to look at it, no matter how you do. If you're Kevin Wyeth, do you want to score quick or do you want to milk the clock here? Because, again, we're down to that 2-for-1 possession, as we spoke about in the Div 2 final here, as we approach the end of the first half.
I believe that you probably don't want to score too quick. You know you're going to be getting the ball back the second half. So it should be interesting to see the play calling that he has for this drive.
Wyeth looking left, pumps. He is going deep. Keyshawn Thompson just out of his reach, incomplete.
Maybe the clock management doesn't concern him too much, and he just wants to score every chance he gets.
That is very true here. So far, right now, look at the stats. Ryan Castor, 2 incompletions. That was Kevin Wyeth's first incompletion of the game. However, he did throw a pick 6 to Ben Leger, and that's been the difference right now with the Rainmakers up by 10 in this first half.
Yeah, definitely. And if I was Kevin, I would still be looking to my right side with Champ and a Ked on that side.
And he does. Mark Champagne, a big grab here, tackled by Ben Leger, just shy of the first down.
It's going to be a tough outing for the Rainmakers if they can't slow down Mark Champagne, because once he gets the ball in his hands, it could be a possible score each time.
And right now, you look at both benches, you can see that the Rainmakers right now look more exuberant on their sidelines, whereas the Finest look a little bit more, have a little bit more angst in them right now, a little bit of nerves, down by 10 in the first half.
Definitely. I mean, the Rainmakers, they have the lead, so they should feel a little bit more comfortable than Montreal's Finest. And it looks like Kevin just missed Rajdi on that throw.
And he does on that play. It was triple slants, and now it's 4th down, and they will go for it here. This is a huge play right now for the Rainmakers. This could be the momentum switch that they're looking for right now.
This is definitely a huge 4th down, and I know in the past, whenever it was short yardage on 4th down and I was playing Montreal's Finest, the 2 people I'm worried about is Donald Shepard and a Kedmore. So it should be interesting to see if he goes to either one of those guys on this play.
And so far, Don Shepard has been held off the stat sheet in this first half. Wyeth looks, waits, buys time. Great catch by Mark Champagne. Another first down here. His 4th catch of the game.
Yeah, it looks like he's having a big game so far. It's tough to cover him. You're worried about the deep, so you got to give him a bit of cushion. So you just waited for him patiently to get open on a 10-yard hook, and he had some space.
And right now, so far, the Finest only have 2 players who've caught balls, and Aked Moore and Mark Champagne. Both have combined for 5 catches, 4 from Mark Champagne right now in this first half, compared to the Rainmakers, who've had 6 different receivers catch a ball. Wyeth. Again to Mark Champagne. Great catch, and he is tackled by Michael Saman for about a 4-yard gain, his 5th catch of the game.
I think on that last 4th down, he actually did want to go to Donald Shepard on that quick slant, but Leger had great coverage on him, so he went to his secondary read, which happened to be Mark Champagne.
Surprised so far by the, I guess, lack of fast start by the Finest on their offense?
Well, it's just one mistake. They've scored every other drive, so it's hard to say that it's a slow start for them. At the same time, they don't seem to be clicking like they normally do.
3rd incompletion for Kevin Wyeth, intended for Aked Moore, missed him way wide to his right side right now. 24-14 lead here late in the first half of the Div 1 final between the Rainmakers and the Montreal's Finest. And right now, the Rainmakers are in control of this game. However, not to bring back the game that you played in, TG, it's been Don Shepard touchdown. It is now 24-20. And this could be the difference, because that 4th down conversion that they hit prolonged this drive, and they score 6 points.
Yeah, it's very possible. And at the same time, what you're asking me earlier on about how Montreal's Finest seem to be on a slow start, they do struggle on bye weeks. There being a bye week from the semifinals to finals, it's very possible that's the answer to this slow start.
They're 5-3 coming off bye weeks here, so it's been a sluggish. We can see that in a proper term of them not off to a great start yet. Down by 4, though. Wyeth pumps, waits, buys time, goes over the middle. Don Shepard through the hands, incomplete. So it is a 4-point lead here late in the first half. This is a big drive for the Rainmakers to potentially go by 2 scores before the half is over.
Yeah, now I have a question for you, Mo.
Yes.
Actually, with Montreal's Finest having these slow starts after bye weeks, do you solely put it on Kevin Wyeth, or do you put it on the team in general?
Well, if from my time being a part of this organization here, I think it comes down to making a play, right? So whether it's offense or defense, someone has to come up to make a big play. But right now, Ryan Castor has answered the call, not giving them the opportunity to make a play on them. Castor goes silent to Tim Kramer, makes a great catch, and he is deflagged by Bontage. That could be enough for a first down. And right now we're seeing Ryan Castro really stretch that defense out, Paul. I mean, he has gone sidelines. He's gone over the middle, gone over the top as well.
Yeah, he's showing his full arsenal here. He's taking what the defense is giving him, and he's not forcing any throws, which is very important. It's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes, and so far he's been mistake-free.
Kastner. Looking to his right. Pumps. He batted down by Stefan Cole, and finally Stefan Cole gets into the game and makes a big play for the Montreal's finest.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about before. If Cole can get there fast enough to get in his passing lane and take away those open receivers, then defense has a chance to get to his second and third read.
And that could be the play that they're looking for, even though it is literally like 3 inches for the first down here. If you're Montreal's finest, Paul, do you go with a man-to-man look?
I believe so. I would probably go man-to-man here, knowing that he's going to try to get something short. But at the same time, you got to be careful that he doesn't use this to his advantage.
Ryan, and that is going to be very close here. And we'll see. And that is a sack. It is fourth down. He can't run unless – no. Did he get the sack or did he get just past? It is tough to tell right now what went
down.
Where
he's marking that, it looks like he got sacked by 2 inches, but we'll have to wait for the call.
That is a run. Head referee Jack has said it's a run. So this is a pass situation here. Now if you're finest, do you go with that man-to-man look?
Yeah, I do definitely go with the man-to-man look, and at the same time, if I was Kastner, I wouldn't be trying to run to begin with. His weapon is his arm, and he should have been trying to look for something quick or a double move, maybe for a touchdown there.
And this could be the play that the finest has been looking for, that they got from Stefan Cole on a hairline sack, if you want to use that term, on that play. Here we go. Big fourth down coming up for the Rainmakers. And the whistle is blowing. And it looks like we'll see what the call is here.
I think maybe the ball was snapped before they blew it in. Maybe they jumped the gun on that one.
It gets a little anxious now. The collar gets tight. The ball gets a little bit more greasy, if you want to use that term.
It's possible, and you can see now Montreal's finest bench looks a little more lively on this fourth down in a couple inches.
Here we go. Big play coming up for the Rainmakers. Kastner, quick pass, great catch by Bobby Michaelberg on a quick slant in, which is their bread and butter play at this position.
Exactly, and I would have thought he would have tried to go for that on third down with an option to throw it over the top if they jumped that. Looks like Kastner made up for his mistake on that run the last play.
And that could be a play that we can look back on now, Paul, and say maybe down the road in the second half, if the Rainmakers are to win this game, and say that was the difference in why they won this game compared to maybe losing this game.
Definitely. If they end up scoring before the half here, I would say that play is going to come into effect.
And right now, Ryan Castro, so far today, 2 incompletions. He has hit 6 different receivers. Bobby Michaelberg, his favorite target right now, with 4 catches and 1 TD up till now, and he's been fantastic for the Rainmakers. Kastner. Going to the right. Great catch by Saman again over the middle. And Ryan Castro calls timeout just before 5 plays.
And it looks like he hit Saman on that crossing route again, which is so hard to defend as a defense.
And it seems like Castro has the answer to every defense that Keyshawn Thompson has called. The same play we saw with Saman back early in the first half. Crossing route, man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, and that's why that rush is going to be so important for Montreal's finest, because if they're not getting pressure on him and they're giving him time to go through his first, second, third read, it's going to be a long day for them.
And right now, Ryan Castro has made it a long day for that Montreal's finest defense, who are prone to getting a turnover or 2 along the way, but he's not done so far today. Castro looking right, quick slant in. Tim Kramer with a quick catch and a tackle by Guillaume Ward. And that will be his 4th catch of the game.
And it looked like Keyshawn actually got in the way of Cole on that rush which slowed them down a bit. So we'll see how they have to make an adjustment on that. Maybe Keyshawn was freelancing a little too much on that play.
5 plays left here in the first half, and again, the Rainmakers now control the first half destiny, the Montreal's finest fate, before we hit the halfway point of this game here. So right now, this has been a well-played game by the Rainmakers.
Definitely, and the one thing you don't want to do here is score too quick. If you leave Kevin with 4 or 3 plays, he can easily come back and score right away.
Kastner out to Saman, and he is deflagged just outside the goal line here, so they're definitely inside red zone now.
Yeah, actually, if I was Montreal's finest defense, I would have possibly actually let them in. So to give Kevin 4 plays, possibly get a score before the half, they start with the ball second half.
A 2-for-1 possession.
Exactly.
And right now, you wonder if that was what Keyshawn Thompson wanted from his defense as opposed to stopping him. But again, that's why you play defense, to prevent points, not allow points.
Exactly. You never want to just give up an easy score, but in a game where it's so one-sided towards offensive game, it wouldn't have hurt when you have Kevin at the helm.
Kastner looks quick. Incomplete, intended for Ben Leger. It seemed like he was going to get him on the quick out post move, but did not connect.
Yeah, I think that was probably Kevin's worst pass. I'm sorry, Ryan Kastner's worst pass of the day, and it wasn't even that far off. But maybe the Montreal's finest making that tackle short of the end zone is good for them now. A little more pressure on them on 3rd and goal.
3 plays left here, and now you're at the point, if you're Montreal's finest defense, you got to stop them rather than let them score with so little play. Kastner rolling to his right, quick pass, and incomplete, intended for Derek Kastner. Now we're back down to that same position again, Paul. Late in the first half, 2 plays left here. Big play come up here for the Rainmakers.
This is a huge play for both sides of the ball. It should be interesting to see what his target is on this play.
You have to think maybe Bobby Michaelberg, Tim Kramer, those are his 2 red zone targets so far, throughout the season, but also in this game, that they could be looked upon as being the key factors on this next play.
Yeah, I would guess it would either be Michaelberg or Kramer on this play, but I think they're going to use a timeout to really think about this.
And I believe that's your second timeout now, so they're left with 1 timeout going into the second half here, and that could be proved to be costly if the finest do somehow get back into this game with a lead, if they only have 1 timeout in the second half.
Yeah, no, for sure. But at the same time, using this timeout to make sure you get this score is probably more important than saving that timeout and not scoring before the half. So
right.
It's not a bad timeout if they weren't sure of what they were going to do here.
A potential 6-point swing here now for the Rainmakers. Up by 4. They can go up by 10 at half, even though the finals will start off the second half with the football here. Trips right to Ryan Kastner. First different look of the game here for the Rainmakers. Kastner, high snap, waits. And a great play by Tim Kramer and Ryan Kastner. A touchdown. It is now 30-20.
Wow. I don't know if he just drew that up on the spot or they had that maybe before the game. They talked about running some trips. But showing a different kind of offense to this Montreal finest defense is probably the way to do it. Confuse them a bit and get them on their heels.
And right now, you look at that finest bench and their defensive body expression. They look flabbergasted with how well the Rainmakers have played so far in this first half.
They've been playing flawless football, honestly, and that was a great drive because they only left Montreal's finest with 1 play to answer back here.
Well calculated play and a 2-point convert now coming up here for the Rainmakers. Kastner looking to the left, waits, pumps. He is going to the back of the end zone, picked off by Keyshawn. A flag, though, and that will give the Rainmakers a reprieve, and they will go for the 2-point convert closer in now.
Definitely, and by getting a 2-point convert here, they could actually make it a 12-point game, which essentially is 2 scores.
And however, in defense of the finals, so they have come back from 2-score leads. But this is the Rainmakers here, and this is the Div 1 finals where 1 mistake could be the difference with you winning and losing. And so far, the Rainmakers have capitalized on the finest mistakes.
Yes, they have. And for Montreal's finest in that rush, maybe Cole needs to focus more on getting Kastner's flag and not so much about getting his hands up. I think that's what caused them to get that penalty.
And surprisingly enough, you look at Stefan Cole, he has yet to sack Ryan Kastner, and we talked about it in the pregame, right? Sacking Ryan Kastner, and so far he's been very quick with his throws.
Yeah, no, he's been quick with his throws, and the couple of times they took away his first read, Cole just wasn't able to get his flag. So maybe the second half they'll make some adjustments, maybe change the rush or do something different. But it seems like whatever they're doing right now isn't working.
Kastner throws it out of the end zone. So we're with one play left here, 30-20. Not much left in the playbook here, unless you want to drop a second quarterback in this case. But I guess Rashdi Ben Abdelkader did throw in Div 3, so he can't throw in this game.
Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, Rajdi doesn't have the arm strength to get it downfield to begin with. He's more that methodical, hit the short yardage plays. So if anybody has the arm to throw it, it would be a Ked besides Kevin. But you want a Ked in the end zone to catch this. So I think Kevin's just going to wait till the last second and heave one up to the right side of his offense.
We've yet to see the rolling snap from the finalists. We won't now. Wyeth keys it up in the air. Caught by Ken Moore for the touchdown. 30-26 now. And we talk about the 2-for-1 here, and this could be it right now.
That was huge. And just like I said about you don't want to give Kevin 3 or 4 plays, and he does it in one, but it's always nice to have a receiver like a Ken Moore. He went up and got that, and you can see the Rainmakers look a little deflated after that catch.
Now, if the Finals are to convert this, obviously we still have a game. It's still a one-score lead here, but the Finals go into half with the momentum and the ball in the second half.
Exactly, and this the tides have changed. It's going to be a real interesting second half.
And Ken Moore does convert. 30-27 here. Ball up here. We can safely say it's a new ball game.
It definitely is, and now we can safely probably say it's going to come right down to the wire like that Div 2 game did.
And right now, look at the body expression of both teams. The Finalists, even though they're down by 3, look very confident, whereas the Rainmakers right now look a little bit surprised by that ending of the first half.
Yeah, like I said, that catch really took the wind out of their sails, so we'll see if the Rainmakers are able to regroup and get back in this.
And there we have it. Looking at the first half stats here, and again, non-official stats here. Kevin Wyeth, 3 incompletions, though. Hit Mark Champagne 5 times, at Ken Moore twice, and Don Shepard once. Ryan Kastner, 4 incompletions. He's hit 6 different receivers up till now here. And do you think, for the finals' sake, that they'll spread the ball even more, or do you think they'll continue on with the big 3 from the first half?
Well, I think the big 3, the fact that he went to a Ked and they ended up intercepting them. And I don't think that they're going to actually be able to do that again. So it's really pick your poison. When you got athletes like Montreal's Finest he has weapons wherever he wants to go. So it's really pick your poison at this point.
And, of course, the Rainmakers, they have spread the ball very well. You look at Tim Kramer, 5 catches, 2 TDs. Bobby Michaelberg, 4 catches, 1 TD. This team has had production from their essentially starting 5 receivers, and we both expect they'll continue with this same rhythm of going all over to the receivers.
Oh, definitely. Kastner's going to take what the defense gives them, and it's really going to come right down to the wire, and I say whoever makes the first mistake in this half is probably going to end up paying for it big time.
And here we go. This is the drive that the Finals have been looking for. Down by 3, they have the ball to start off the second half here. And it's funny as it sounds, the coin toss is so critical in a finals, right? Because you always want to have the ball to start off the second half. And here we go. The Finals down by 3 with the ball in the second half. Wyeth looking left. Champagne open, and he drops the ball. First drop of the game for Mark Champagne.
Yeah, it looked like he was thinking about what he was going to do with that before he caught it. Real unfortunate for him.
And we talked about the little mistakes or the non-forced errors right now. If this was a tennis match, right now the Finals have created more non-forced errors, the INT and the drop ball from Mark Champagne. And the Stefan Cole shorts incident and the rough in the quarterback as well.
Yeah, well, and that's why Rainmakers are still up by 3 points, but there's still a lot of football to be played.
Wyeth going deep to Guillaume Moore. He has it for the touchdown. It is now 33-30 for the finest.
And that was just a great toss by Kevin. He put that where his receiver can go get it, and Ward made a great catch. And
Guillaume Ward, his first finals catch since the 2006 Winter Finals, when his CLR Forces lost to the old Young Guns, or the Guns at the time, in the 2006 Finals. So it's been a long time for finals catches for Guillaume Ward up till now.
it's good to see that he finally got one, because he's a great receiver, a great all-around athlete.
Wyeth, high snap from Shepard. Looking to the left, going to the corner to Don Shepard, and he gets the convert. And just like that, though, it is 34-30 for the finest.
And I think that snap might have been a little high because he was anxious to get to that deep route. Maybe he had a feeling that one was going to him, but great grab and way to keep his feet in bounds.
All right, how does the Rainmakers reply back from this? They've given up essentially what has become more or less 14 points in the last 2 minutes of real time here, or 3 minutes of real time. So how do they reply back, Don? Paul, pardon me.
Honestly, none of it has to do with their offense. Their offense has been clicking on all cylinders, so I would just keep on doing what they've been doing.
Castner, great throw to number 9, Guy Laflamme, for the first down and more. Daniel Charles tried to go for the pick, did not convert.
And that's what happens when you gamble on those short passes. Instead of just securing the flag and maybe only getting a 4 or 5 yard gain, you just let them get another 15 yards on that.
And right now, a big drop for Ryan Castner. He made that throw, converted to Guy Laflamme for the first down here, and they're deep inside Montreal's finest territory on their first possession of the second half. Bobby Michaelberg on the left side of Ryan Castner. Castner goes right to Derek Castner, short pass. He makes a grab and deflagged by Keyshawn Thompson. His fourth catch of the game so far.
Yeah, it looked like he just had a pre-snap read on that. He knew Derek was going to be slanting into that open space, and he hit him right away. Honestly, Ryan Castner has been looking very methodical, moving the ball with ease.
And so far today, Derek Castner has 4 catches for about 27 yards. Unofficial stats, of course, but we believe that's the projected number right now. Castner, quick slant into Bobby Michaelberg. Touchdown, Bobby Michaelberg. He has been a monster today for the Rainmakers.
Yes, he has. Charles has a real tough job with him. It's either he's slanting in or going over the top, but whenever Ryan's throwing him the ball, he's making the most of his opportunities.
And right now it is back to being a 2-point lead here for the Rainmakers, and they will go for the 1-point attempt to potentially go up by 3, 36-34 here in the second half. We've had a fantastic Div 1 finals right now.
Yeah, yes, we have. It's a lot of fun to be watching this game.
Castner looks right. Ben Leger just out of his hands, incomplete. So a 2-point lead here. Now, if you're Kevin Wyeth again, we've seen the quick strike offense, but we've not seen that prolonged drive where he's going to go 6-7 plays to score a touchdown. Do you think he wants to slow it down just a bit here to limit the time?
Well, it's a little too early in this half to be limiting the time. I think Kevin's taking what they're giving him, and just unfortunately it seems to be the deep pass, so he's going to continue to throw deep if that's what's open.
Wyeth rolling to his left, waits. He is going deep to Mark Champagne. Champagne, touchdown.
And they just have no answer for Mark Champagne. Another long touchdown for him. That was another nice throw by Kevin, but coverage nowhere to be seen on that one.
Kevin Wyeth has thrown 3 40-yard TD passes today to 2 receivers, twice to Mark Champagne, once to Ken Moore. It is now a 40-36 lead here. Do you go for the 2 points if you're the finest, up by 4?
Once again, I still think it's too early in the game to be going for 2. You know there's probably going to be another 2 to 3 possessions for each team, so you're probably better off just going for 1 and putting the pressure on the Rainmakers.
Wyeth, quick pass, and Ken Moore just bogged out Guy Laflamme for the 1 point. So it is now a 41-36 lead here, 5-point lead in the second half, Paul.
Yeah, and it's just so tough to get around a Ked Moore on those hooks, especially with the amount of velocity that Kevin throws that ball with. You don't have much time to get around, and Ked knows how to use that wide frame and box people out. So
So far, we've been treated to a fantastic Div 1 final here. And right now, Ryan Castro, he is sacked by Stefan Cole. We talked about this, and it finally happened for the finalists to get a sack on Ryan Castro by Stefan Cole.
Yeah, and I think that time I'm actually going to give the credit to Montreal's finest defense. They took away his first read, and then Cole was able to capitalize and get that sack. So great play all around by Montreal's finest defense.
Right now, the Rainmakers, if there were goalposts, they would be literally in the shadows of their goalposts as we speak right now. Ryan Castro is going to take a short distance from his brother Derek on the snap. Castro, quick pass to Tim Kramer, and that is going to be very close. And that will be called complete to Tim Kramer. What do you think on that play? Was that a completion or incompletion?
Honestly, I think it was a completion. It was a great grab, but really it only got him 3 to 4 yards, so it's not even worth Montreal's finest to complain about that play. You have him in 3rd and long here, and this is the play that really counts.
More importantly, he gets Ryan Castro at the end zone on top of that.
Yeah, it does get him a little bit more space, but at the same time, it still was only a 3-yard gain.
Castro going to Saman. And it is. And they will get him the first down, yes. And that will be a huge grab for Michael Saman in the first down.
And he had coverage draped all over him on that one. Way to keep his feet in bounds. That was a big play for them.
A huge grab on 3rd and long here. The Finest had the look that they wanted, but couldn't stop him on that 3rd down conversion. Great job by Ryan Castro to get that first down to Michael Saman, who has 4 catches today, 4 big catches, need I say, for the Rainmakers. Castro looking to the right, waits, goes over the middle. Great catch by Ben Leger. He will get a first down and more.
And that was another great play by Castro. Good play call. He had Saman clear out from the other side with a post and had Leger fill into his spot, and he was wide open, as you can see.
And right now, you look at it, Ben Leger, 2 catches, in this game. Tim Kramer, 6 catches. Bobby Michaelberg, 5 catches. And Michael Saman, 4 catches. Right now, would you say the depth of the Rainmakers have outplayed the depth of the finals so far?
On Rainmakers' offense towards Montreal's finest defense, yes. There's some mismatches, and I think Ryan Kastner's taking advantage of that.
Castro going left. Has Derek Castro, and he gets... that's a quick play there. That might have been a PI, but that was not called, and Derek Castro is not happy about the non-call.
Yeah, it looked like he got there a little early, but the refs can't see everything, so you got to move on to the next play.
41-36 here for the Finest. We've had quite the remarkable last 10 minutes of this game here, Paul, where it seemed like the Rainmakers were well in control, up by 10. And now they're down by 5.
Yeah, well, this pace is unbelievable. I mean, if I had to ask you if they're going to score over 90 points, I'd probably have to say yes.
Castro goes quick right, incomplete, intended for Ben Leger, and Guillaume Moore and Ben Leger get contact, but both seem to be okay.
Well, you see that the last 2 plays, it's getting a little more physical. I think Montreal's finest is trying to do what they can to stop this Rainmakers offense.
And is that something that goes to the advantage of the Finest to be more physical with their defense within the realm of the football game? Within
the realm of the football game, I would totally agree with you on that. They feed off of each other when it's more aggressive, and I believe the Rainmakers are more a finesse team, so they're probably not liking the contact too much.
Castro looking left. Going to the corner of the end zone. Great catch. Bobby Michaelberg. Touchdown. And the Finest are complaining that he may have had 1 foot in, but the referee calls it a touchdown. It is now 42-41 here for the Rainmakers.
And that seems to be the same touchdown he had in the first half, at least the same spot of the end zone.
Right. The 7-yard TD that he had early on in the game, a 5-yard TD grab right now. He has 3 for the game. So far, he's been a monster for the Rainmakers.
Yes, he has. He's finding a way to get open, and Ryan Kastner's definitely trusting him.
Big convert here now. They're up by 1, so obviously if they get the 1-point convert, it could come down to converts again. So this is a big play here for the Rainmakers. Castro looking over the middle, goes to the left, pump fake. He has all day now. He has Ben Leger open, and he is in for the convert, and a critical play, if you want to call it, by Stefan Cole to jump in the air, and that's what happened.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a mistake on Cole's part, and I know for sure the guys on the bench for Montreal's Finest is telling him, don't jump, just get his flag, get in his way, do not let him buy that extra time.
And here we go, back and forth. This boxing match has been phenomenal. This would be like a 15-round old-school boxing fight here. Wyeth goes right side to Champagne. He catches the ball again, his 7th catch of the game, just short of the first down, though. And right now, you look at it, Paul, Mark Champagne has 7 catches for 2 TDs. Great game for him.
Yeah, no, he's been playing really good football, and Saman is really having a tough time covering him one-on-one. And if you start to help, then you know it's going to open up somebody else. So
Wyeth waits, pumps, goes to Don Shepard again. Shepard's got some yards, spins around, another spin by Shepard, and he is inside the red zone. And that is a huge play by the Finest.
No, definitely. And I think the rush slowed down just a little bit there and let Kevin get to his second read, or maybe even possibly his third.
20-yard gain here for Don Shepard, his 2nd catch of the game, 25 yards unofficially speaking here in this game. And right now, the Finest on the cusp of potentially scoring again here, are down by 2 in the second half of the game inside the red zone. And Wyeth has plenty of time here, it looks like, from the play clock.
It looks like he's calling the play as it goes on.
Wyeth. Mark Champagne gets the touchdown and is now 47-43.
I think Mark Champagne actually just read that and saw the defense all flowing to the left, and he decided to cut it back out, and Kevin was on the same page as him.
Champagne had like a 2-week vacation here, and he comes back with 3 TDs in this football game.
2-week vacation is actually almost a month off of football, right, with the 2 bye weeks. So he seems like he's been well rested for this game.
A huge play here. Now, again, Paul, we look at it. They're up by 4. Would it not make sense to go for the 2-point convert now to make it a 6-point lead?
I would agree. Now is the time that you would want to go for 2 and make it a 6-point game.
Rashi Ben Abdelkader through his hands. And again, we have 2 questions. Jacques Boyd not happy about that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's too happy about that one.
So 2 questions to look at, not going for the 2-point convert, and now Rashi Ben Abdelkader through his hands.
Yeah, honestly, you're not going to see him drop too many of those. Maybe he's still on a little bit of a high from his Division III championship win. Congratulations to him, and hopefully that one doesn't come back to haunt him.
And you look at it now, the Finest have yet to create a turnover from the Rainmakers. Castering going deep to Bobby Michaelberg. A huge catch by Michaelberg, and he'll get about 23 yards on that play.
He's just having a great game. It seems like any time that Ryan Kastner wants to throw the ball his way, he's open for it.
You wonder now if the Finest are going to switch their coverage up, because they have Dalian Charles on Bobby Michaelberg more or less here, and so far Michaelberg has taken him to the task.
Yeah, no, I'd see Karim maybe helping a bit and trying to jump in front of one of those. I don't know if they're trying to bait him into it, but now that they're getting closer to the end zone, you got to probably watch out for those slant ins.
Kastner looking left, going to Derek Kastner, tackled by Dalian Charles, and it seems like they're picking on Dalian Charles now in the second half.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how many tackles Charles has, but that might indicate how many times that they've thrown the ball his way.
From my calculations, 5 tackles so far.
All right, so yeah, it's very possible that Ryan Kastner's seen something out there, and he's taking advantage of it.
And again, you look at the spread of wealth here. The six guys who've caught balls have at least 2 receptions or more in this game here. So job well done by Ryan Kastner spreading the wealth right now.
Oh, definitely. He's being very patient. He's taking what Montreal's Finest is giving him.
Kastner looking to the right. Has the man open, and he is in for the no, he is just out. Again, from our vantage point, it looked like he was in, but he is just shy of the goal line.
I think they maybe called him short because he fell into the end zone, so they marked it to where he started to fall. I'm not sure.
And again, third down conversion again. Rainmakers came up big on that third and long early in the second half. Could they come up big now inside the red zone?
Well, if they want to have any chance of winning this game, they definitely need to score here. For Montreal's finest defense, what they want to do here is this is where Cole's long arms and his rush is going to help them. If Kastner could buy some time, then it could be trouble for Montreal's finest.
Kastner rolls to his left. Short pass, and a great play by Guillaume Ward on Guy Lafemme. And guess what, Paul Lapierre. I'm calling you Don. I don't know why I'm calling you Don today. I guess I'm used to Don being my co-host in the podcast here, but I apologize, Paul. But fourth down, what do you call now? Is it a quick slant in from the Rainmakers?
This is a tough one. Honestly, if I had to go, I would possibly go with maybe the same play. Guillaume Ward looked like he left his man, which is Tim Kramer, and he was wide open in the back of the end zone. So it's very possible that he'll be there again.
Big play. Kastner throws it. Touchdown. Yes, touchdown. Yes, it is a touchdown. Yes, Tom Cesare, the referee, we apologize. Tom Cesare called the grab, forced out, which resulted in a touchdown here for the Rainmakers. A huge grab by Bobby Michaelberg.
That was a monster grab by Michaelberg, and a great call by Cesare to see that force out and to call him in.
And the fans are still complaining about the call here. And if you're Keyshawn Thompson, you need to get these guys relaxed because this is a big play for them right now.
Oh, definitely. I mean, every point's going to come into effect here, so he's got to focus on the next play in hand.
Down by 2 now for the finest here. Ryan Kastner looking to make it a 3-point lead. Kastner going to the right side. Has Tim Kramer open. It is now a 50-47 lead here. We're well over the 90 points, over under here, but we could very well hit 100-plus points in this game.
This has just been a shootout. A great game on both sides of the ball for both teams. Should be real interesting to see how this one finishes out.
And right now, a tale of two halves where the Finals were down 10. Now they're down 3 with the ball right now. Late in this second half, we don't have the exact time yet here, but 50-47 for the Rainmakers, and they have played phenomenal today. And against the defending champions, they had them on the ropes. Wyeth. Champagne makes a big grab again on Michael Saman.
The coverage was a lot tighter on that one. Saman had a feeling that was coming, and we're down to 4 plays, Mo.
4 minutes.
4 minutes
left.
to 5 plays,
yeah,
yes.
That's, so we're looking at, what, 3 possessions left in this game, maybe 2?
Well, the way these guys have been scoring, it could be 5 possessions, but it all depends. I would say maybe 1 possession each.
At least, for sure. Second down, Wyeth pumps. He is going to go deep to Mark Champagne. Great play by Michael Saman. Champagne had him beat, but Saman made a better play.
Saman just did not give up on that play. He was beat, and he just hustled to that ball. I think Kevin's probably regretting not putting a little bit more air on that, or maybe a little more of a line drive, but Saman with a great play on that.
And a big third down coming up here. Third and about 3 or 4 yards on the football field here, so a big play coming up for the finest. Wyeth waits. Akem Moore, double catch, and he will get the first down and a little bit more.
And it seems any time that Kevin needs a big play, he just goes to Mr. Reliable, Akem Moore. He's having a great game.
So far today, Akem Moore, stats-wise, 3 catches, however, 2 touchdowns, 1 Hail Mary grab. So right now he's had a strong game up till now.
A couple converts probably.
Yes, a couple converts, absolutely. So overall about 5 or 6 catches as we speak. Timeout called on the football field here. And again, we talked about in the first half, the Rainmakers used 2 timeouts, and you wonder if that extra timeout that they use could come back and haunt them now.
It could. It definitely could. But at the same time, that timeout, they ended up getting their touchdown, right?
Right.
I mean, it was unfortunate that they gave up the Hail Mary, the play right after. But I'm sure that's not what they had planned when they called that timeout. Right now, with probably under 3 minutes, under 2 minutes maybe, timeouts would be useful for them, but they're going to have to focus on a stop.
Rainmakers up by 3. Wyeth waits. Going over the middle to Aked Moore. Touchdown, Aked Moore. 25-yard grab. And now it's back to being a 3-point lead here. So really, the extra point convert doesn't really have much of an impact unless otherwise.
Yeah, well, like you said, they should have went for 2 the last time they scored to make it a 6-point game. Now, after the Rainmakers got their convert, they don't have that opportunity to make it a 6-point game.
Right.
So this point really doesn't mean much. What's going to be important is the time that's remaining for the Rainmakers to come back and score on this last drive.
And you wonder how Ryan Castro will use that time on potentially could be his last drive of the game. Wyeth pumps, throws, Aked Moore. And Leo Gervais says, yes, it is good. A 2-point convert is now a 5-point lead here. We spoke about it, Paul. Converts have been key, and so far both teams have hit their converts their last 2 series.
Yeah, and once again, when he wanted a big convert, who did he go to? He went back to Aked Moore, and that one wasn't even him using his size. He caught that maybe a yard off of the ground. Hell of a grab by Aked Moore.
So, assuming now we're inside 2 minutes, finalists do have their timeouts. Now, if you're the finalists, what do you do in this situation here? Do you want to use your timeouts early, or do you want to wait till we get close enough to 5 plays?
I would probably wait to see how the first or second play goes and then decide. If they get a lot of yards on the first or second play, then I would definitely try to conserve some time for Kevin to answer back.
Kastner. Short pass, incomplete to Saman. That is Kastner's 7th incompletion intended for Michael Saman. And you figure now with the finals they may get a little bit more aggressive with their defense.
Yeah, well, this whole second half they've been a lot more aggressive. Anytime you've seen an incompletion, there's been bodies on the ground, so it seems that's the style they're going with in this second half.
Kastner, short pass to Tim Kramer, tackled, and there is a flag on the play though, and we'll see what the call is.
Ooh, that's a big flag guarding there, so that 7-yard gain is going to turn out to be only a 2-yard gain.
And they are talking to Keyshawn Thompson. A great call by you, Paul, up here. You got those quarterback eyes, so you see that stuff, no doubt. But
it helps when Leo makes his calls real clear. He had that call right from the start.
Now, if you're the finalists, do you accept the penalty or do you push him back?
No, it doesn't. You don't. They don't get to repeat the down, so you definitely accept the penalty.
So here we go. Rainmakers going with a no huddle look. Finalists being aggressive. Kastner going deep. Tim Kramer, touchdown, Tim Kramer.
Wow. What an adjustment on that. He caught that over his back shoulder. Great toss by Kastner. And looks like we're going to have another photo finish, huh?
It seems like with us doing the broadcasts, we've had some great finishes so far in Div 1 and Div 2. Historically, the last couple of years, it's been blowouts. But so far tonight, Div 2, photo finish. Div 1, it is appearing to be a close photo finish again, Paul, and a great throw and a great catch by Tim Kramer.
Oh, definitely. That was a great play, and on third down where possibly Montreal's finest was thinking they were just going to try to pick up the first, Kastner took advantage and went over the top on that one.
Now, they're up by 1, so really whatever they do here, they'll be up maybe 2, if not less than that here. We'll find out.
The last thing you want to do is throw interception here and let them tie the game on a interception.
And Ryan Castro, this may have been a time-waste move by Castro to take the sack and kill more clock, though. That could have been it right now.
Yeah, well, if he was actually thinking about killing clock, which he killed enough to make it 5 plays, so it looks like he did his job.
Are the Rainmakers 5 plays away from hoisting their first ever FPF title, or will the finals continue and repeat as champions? We will find out in these next 5 plays. It is the Taskmaster, the Montreal's finals against the young Jedis, or not really young, but the Jedis of the finals and the Rainmakers. Who wants some more, Paul? We'll find out in these next 5 plays.
It's real tough. With the score being 56-55, you'd say the advantage is to the team who has the ball last.
And you wonder if that Kevin Wyeth INT for pick 6 will come back and haunt them. Champagne again with a catch. He makes one move, and he'll get more than enough for a first down and 20 yards.
It looked like Saman really didn't want to get burnt deep there, and he just gave him way too much of a cushion.
4 plays left now for the Montreal's finest. That was Mark Champagne's 10th catch of the game.
Wow. I don't even know if he had 10 catches all season.
Well, you know what? Big time. An old coach of mine said big time players come up with big time plays, and Mark Champagne has played very well today for the finest. But Bobby Michaelberg's been a monster for the Rainmakers.
Yes, he has.
Wyeth waits. Aken Moore boxes out, and he will get the touchdown. But did they leave too many plays for the Rainmakers?
You want to make sure you get that touchdown, and now you can rely on your defense to stop the Rainmakers to put this one away. Just another beast of a play by Aken Moore. They've had no answer for him all day long.
Sorry, Paul. I was going to say, they're up by 5. You have to go for 2. You have to go for 2 now, because if you're up 5 and you go for 2, make it a 7-point lead here. 61-56 right now. You have to go for 2, though, would you not think?
Well, honestly, you'd want to go for 1 here to make sure that the Rainmakers have to score and convert the convert to actually beat you. If you miss this convert by going for 2, then all they need is a touchdown to actually win the game.
And guess what the finalists are doing? Going for 2.
Oh,
big play coming
wrong.
up. Wyeth waits, pumps, goes to the corner, and a great play by LaFemme. And here we go. Ryan Castor has the ball in his hands. 3 plays left here. Could Ryan Castor be the hero and have his one shining moment by winning the 2013 Div 1 Winter Trophy? Paul, what do you call in these next 3 plays here if you're the Ryan Castor?
Well, you definitely want to take something in the mid-range game right here that you know they're going to be worried about getting beat over the tie-up. Especially Kramer just beat Ward on that deep pass. I would try to go maybe on a 15-yard comeback to Tim Kramer.
Castor rolling to his right. Going short to Tim Kramer. Kramer makes the catch. 2 plays left here. That is Tim Kramer's 8th catch of the game.
It wasn't 15 yards, but it was close to it, and it was a very smart play. You knew Ward had to respect his speed and to give up something.
So you have half a field now, essentially. Again, do you want to work it halfway through and try to go for the last play in the end zone, or do you go now for the last 2 plays in the end zone?
With the way Kastner's been completing his passes, nothing's really been a completion for over 20 yards. So I would still try to get half now and give yourself a better shot on the last play.
Kastner waits. Wheel route by LaFemme. Great catch by Michaelberg. And here we go, Paul. This is what we wanted. If you're fine, do you call a timeout here to get your breath and focus up here?
Yeah, I would definitely probably call a timeout if I was Montreal's finest, but knowing Keyshawn, he's going to wait for the very last minute to call that timeout. That's his specialty right
And
here.
remember, in 2010 and 2011, in the semifinals, the finals lost on the last play. Patrick Schnarr threw that last play touchdown to Gabriel Cote, and against the old school, the finals could not convert on their last play to win the game here. So here we go. The finals, same scenario, last play of the game, Paul.
Yeah, and they're going to have to rely on their defense. Expect wherever that ball to go, there's going to be some contact.
Here we go. Kastner for the one shining moment. Kastner is sacked. Game over. The Montreal's finest have won their back-to-back championship trophy here. Stefan Cole with his one shining moment.
Yeah, that's a huge sack, and honestly, he probably had one of his rougher games, but boy, did he come and shine at the biggest time possible. What a sack by Cole.
What a finish here. Paul, up here, we've been blessed to see 2 great finals, but this was a fantastic finish here. The Montreal's finals win their 2nd in a row, and they now lay claim as arguably being the greatest Div 1 team, if you would agree with that assessment. 3 championships in the winter, 1 in the spring.
Yeah, honestly, they've proved it over and over again. Hats off to both of these teams for a great game. 117 points in total. You couldn't ask for a better finish. Came down to the last play. I mean, maybe you're hoping that ball gets out of Kastner's hands, so you see a possible chance for that touchdown, but all around just a great game.
Looking at some stats here, and let's look at the Rainmakers first and foremost. Bobby Michaelberg, 4 TDs, 9 catches. You look at Tim Kramer, 3 TDs, 8 catches. You had 6 different receivers catch balls here, whereas with Montreal's Finest, it was more clustered. Mark Champagne, 10 catches, 3 TDs. Akeem Moore had 4 TDs on 5 catches. Don Shepard, 1 TD, 2 catches. And Guillaume Ward, 1 TD, 40-yard touchdown grab here. What a fantastic finish we had here. Kevin Wyeth came up big when he had to, as did the Finest defense.
Oh, definitely. And honestly, I still think it comes down to that play just before the half with 1 play to go, and Kevin heaves it up 40 yards to Ked, and he caught it in a crowd of at least 4 to 5 guys. Just honestly a spectacular game by Ked Moore and Mark Champagne on that side. But Kevin did his thing like he did all season long, and Montreal's Finest was the best team in the regular season, and as you can see, best team right now.
And full credit goes to the Rainmakers on unfortunate for them, did not end up how they wanted to be with them hoisting the FPF Div 1 title here, but they played a fantastic game here, and we can say, we talked about it at the beginning of the game here, Paul, the gap was closing, but I think it's closing even more now with the Finest and the Rainmakers in this great rivalry.
Definitely. I mean, a tie game in the regular season and in a game that came down to the last play of the game, these teams are just, they're neck and neck. It really comes down to 1 or 2 big plays on each side, and spectacular game by both sides.
And right now, as we can see the Montreal's Finest game their championship T-shirts, about to take their team photo as well. 61-56 victory over the Rainmakers here. They become the 3-time Div 1 winter champions, back-to-back champions as well. And again, the surprise thing here, we looked at it, Paul. Kevin White throws an INT for a pick 6. You know, he goes almost the entire year. And then we see a Hail Mary. We saw everything in this football game that we could imagine coming right down to the last play.
Yeah, no, we really did. This game had it all. It was a fun game to watch. I'm glad to be a part of it.
And a reminder, we will stay tuned for the post-game show here as we will have a recap of the Div 1 finals. The MVP, Cam Moore, I believe, will be in studio with the Div 1 crew of Darren Basberjan and Daniel Gentili. And, Paul, we were lucky. We saw some great games, and this Div 1 final was fantastic. And looking ahead here now for the Spring League, obviously we can't forecast who's going to be in what, but can we safely say the Finals are going to be the favorites to win the Spring League as well?
I wouldn't say safely. I mean, the Rainmakers are going to be putting probably the same squad together again.
Or even more weapons to work with.
Or even more weapons to work with, especially with Teddy Fournette and Adley.
Yes.
Both coming from the Expos, or I should say the Bills.
Yeah.
So they're going to even be stronger. My team, I'm going to be putting a roster together to try to compete with these 2 powerhouses. So honestly, nothing's a guaranteed in flag, and you can see that as of the 2 games we saw today.
Well, partner, much appreciated to do this with you the last 2 games, especially the Div 1 finals. Congratulations to the Montreal Finals on winning their 2nd consecutive Div 1 title. Paul, thank you very much. Great job by you on the analysis. Look forward to working with you down the road.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mo.
Thank you, guys. This is the FPF broadcast. Stay tuned for the postgame show.
All right, thanks, Mo. I am here with 2 representatives from the Division 1 champions. Kind of getting bored of saying it. Captain Keyshawn Thompson, finals MVP, Akeem Moore of Montreal's Finest. First of all, guys, congratulations. I know you're sick of saying it, but how's it feel?
It feels great, man. It never gets old, and we're thankful to be here. We know how hard it is to get here. And a shout-out to Rainmakers, hell of a game. And I expect to see them again maybe next year.
Maybe in the finals next year as well. Akeem, this game really went down to the wire. I mean, you guys were playing at an extremely high level, so were they? Talk to me a bit about this game and how it got to that final incredible drive.
Well, I mean, the Rainmakers, they're a hell of a team. Like, they always come out, they're going to give a challenge regardless of who they're playing. So, I mean, hats off to them. Always give us a good challenge. Like you saw the regular season game, they tied us in the regular season. So, we didn't expect anything less from the Rainmakers.
Did you guys get nervous at all? Keyshawn, that final drive now, you're on defense, they're coming down, 3 plays left, 2 plays left, they're right there. What was going through your head on that last play?
We've been in this league for a long time, so we know we basically strategize a lot of things. And normally we had full control of what we're trying to do, and at that time we felt like it wasn't where we wanted to be. But we had to make a play on defense, and at the end we did it. It took a while, but at the end we did it.
Talk to me about the play of Finals MVP Aked Moore.
That catch, I told him at halftime, that catch that Aked made can't go for nothing. So to me, that's the greatest play. I seen two great plays today, what Pat Jerome did earlier, and that play to me goes down. I'll never forget that, and that's one of the greatest plays in Flag Plus history.
Real momentum turner there. Really gave you guys the boost. It was an inspiration for you guys, basically?
It did. Our defense started to get our pot back. We started to force fourth downs, and more importantly, we stopped them on their converts.
How were you guys able to really keep focus? Because it was such a weird game. I mean, Kevin Wyeth throws a pick six. I mean, when the hell does that happen? And then, you're in that situation. They're not backing down at all. So just how did you guys keep your focus throughout this game?
I mean, it's a veteran team. We've all been playing football for years, so we understand not to panic under pressure situations. Just keep playing our game, keep chipping away. I mean, eventually, hopefully, thankfully, in this situation, good things happen for us. So that's really what it is. Just try to stay focused and humble. We've been down worse than that.
And we were talking, when we were discussing who's going to get Finals MVP, obviously we all agreed on Aked, but a close second was Mark Champagne. Talk to me about how he played in this game.
Mark he's an excellent receiver. You saw the coverage that they were playing. They were giving him such a huge cushion. You have to respect his speed. He's an excellent receiver. You have to respect him. Great game by Mark, and that opened up a lot for me. So I really got to thank Champ for this.
Keyshawn, any final thoughts about your team and the season you guys had? You were undefeated. You never lost. You got that one tie, but you avenged that in this game. Thoughts on this season? I don't know. For me, watching the game, it seemed like this one meant more to you guys than the other ones.
Yeah, well, we have a goal as a team that we didn't reach yet, and we know every season, every championship is a step to where we want to be, and it feels right now we're living in the moment. We're rock stars. We're rock stars in this league, and we know how much it means to us, man. We're gonna text each other and wake each other up in the morning, and normally I text these guys and say, "Hey, what's up, champ? How you doing?" And it means a lot to us, man. I can't tell you how much it means.
It means a lot to us as FPF guys to have the two of you guys and your team, Montreal's finest Division I champions, representing this league. Congratulations to both of you and to your entire team. Hell of a season, hell of a game. Now go party, have some fun. Thanks, guys.
Black Plus to the world, baby.
All right, well, you just heard from two representatives of Montreal's finest. What an unbelievable game. Another unbelievable finish. Division II and Division I had ridiculous endings. Daniele, quick thoughts on this game. Montreal's finest end up sealing the victory at the end on a last-second sack.
Well, just before I say anything, to follow up a crazy D2 game with such a crazy D1 game, you can't get any better than this championship finals weekend / Saturday night. But, man, I couldn't believe this game. From start to finish, there was fireworks. I mean, 116 points combined. That's not normal, man. But Rainmakers, man, did they have a chance, huh?
Tough way. Low snap on the last play. It sucks you don't even get a playoff. I would have liked to see the play, but it's a heartbreaking way to lose. They've lost in every way possible to the finest at this point, but this one hurt.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Ryan. He's such a good quarterback. What a performance tonight. I know if they took that game, he was a clear-cut MVP for this game. But let's go back to the first half, Darren, how there was such a change in the whole attitude, the whole atmosphere in the game. Kevin Wyeth, I said it, Kevin Wyeth throws a pick six. When does that ever happen, Darren? When?
Practically never. I don't know if it's ever happened before.
I mean, just for a team to pick off Wyeth is great. To go for six and change the momentum, man, that was such a boost for the Rainmakers. And it all came to a screeching halt when the play before half, Kevin Wyeth heaves it, and who comes down with it? Mr. MVP himself, Aked Moore, unreal.
He is, for my money, the best receiver in all of Flag Plus football. I don't think anybody's going to argue that point.
Ever. They have the best quarterback ever, and they have the best receiver ever. There's no doubt in my mind. There's been great receivers, I think Pat Jerome, who had a great game himself tonight, is really up there in the wide receiver rankings, but there's no one that could touch Aked. No one is close because this guy, look, he's just has glue for hands. What do you get, 4 or 5 tonight?
Unstoppable, really unstoppable. Short, deep, everything he did was magic. And you heard Keyshawn talk about it in the interview there. He said that once they saw what he did, they said, we can't let that go to waste. We're going to step it up, and they did in the second half, and it was just an unbelievable finish. Okay, we spoke about Finals MVP, Aked Moore. Spoke a little bit about Ryan Castor. What more could the Rainmakers have done? Is there anything that they can change, or basically you play this game 10 times and one team wins 5, the other one wins the other 5?
Well, it's hard to say that to go 50-50. I think Finest would have an edge no matter what, just because of their experience and their finals experience. But listen, the Rainmakers gave it their all. What more can you do? If anything, they picked off Wyeth. That's what you needed to do at least once this game. They did it. If I could say anything, it would be, perhaps extra points. But you can't blame them. They came down to the wire. They had a chance to win it. Unfortunately, they didn't. What more can you ask for? If you give yourself a chance to win a game, I don't think you've done anything wrong. Kastner had a hell of a game. I'm going to repeat it over and over because, he deserves the credit.
There's nothing to say. Nobody lost this game. Just one team won it, and the other team could have won it.
They caught that extra break.
That's it. And that's all it takes sometimes, especially in Division 1 where everyone is so very, very good. We talked about the Rainmakers side. Is Montreal's Finest. It's no shock. This is their 3rd championship at the top level in a row. They repeat as winter champions for Division 1. Is this the best Finest team ever?
Well, they definitely have the tools to be the best Finest team ever. And you know what? They had Zan Simmons back in the day. They introduced Kevin Wyeth to the team. Right there, that's an upgrade. You have guys like Guillaume Ward that had a hell of a game tonight. That's an upgrade. Delien Charles, a guy that was an extremely talented youth player and still has all the talent to make plays in the FPF field. That's a great addition.
Don't forget your boy.
My boy.
Stefan Cole.
Okay, I hope he watches. Stefan Cole is by far my favorite player in all of Flag Plus football. He is a genius with his words, and he made the biggest play of the game tonight. As many plays as Aked made, as many throws as Kevin Wyeth made, Stefan Cole came in with the biggest sack of the night in all the divisions, sealing a win and sealing the championship. God bless him. He's my favorite player.
All right. Well, I don't think there's much we can say. I think the footage did all the talking for us. I think Keyshawn and Aked did the good job of talking for us. Now it's time just to say thank you to everyone who was involved with this broadcast. I have to say thank you to Mokan and Paul Lapierre for doing their job in the broadcast booth. They did an excellent job. I'm not surprised. I have to thank all the technical guys who were involved with this. Paulo De La Roca, David De La Roca, Terry Tam, Alex D'Aquila, of course, the Eagle, Mike Bird, Rob Campana running around and doing all his bit. And, of course, I want to thank you, Daniele, for helping me out with this. And we got to thank Don Shepard and Mokan for their stuff, doing their job. What's going on here?
No. And obviously, we got to thank you. You covered every division tonight. Well done. You are the man behind the scenes here. So listen. Yeah. Don't be modest.
Thank you. All right, fine. I deserve it all. No, look, it's a team effort. We all come together for the roadshow. Every team has to bring their biggest effort. So does ours. And I'm glad we had you joining us here as one of the rookies, but hopefully a veteran in years to come. That's it from us here at the Bell Sports Complex in Brossard. We will see you next season. But until then.
Good night, FPF. We'll see you May 15th for the spring season.
Who is that?
Never heard of him before. Some stranger just walked in.
Why isn't he wearing a suit?
He's different.
Bye.